Oh, seems to be working. Oh, seems to be working. Let's just do a test of sound for the. Oh, seems to be working. Let's just do a test of sound for the. Oh, seems to be working. All right, that will stop that repeating. And today, I'm gonna call my parents. I'm gonna stream some conversation about Trump. So here we go. Call my parents. They're in Pennsylvania. Streaming it. Just gonna be looking on Trump's Twitter and maybe talking about some things. Hopefully they can hear what's on the computer too. I haven't tested that out. Find a video real quick.
Hi, Jason.
Hello. Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Oh, they can't hear me. Hold on.
No.
She hung up. All right. Change the microphone. All right, there we go. Whoops. There we go.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
All right, sorry. Yeah, I had my thing off. Wasn't working properly.
Oh.
But now it's working.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, so I'm
how-
actually I'm calling you and I'm streaming this on the internet too at the same time. So, by the way,
Yeah, you're on. Yeah.
the internet. Yeah, nobody's really watching, but it's going to be on the internet. So, anyway, if I play this for you, can you hear this?
Wolves and Keith Ellison.
Yeah, Jim, just let him, because he was talking.
Oh, what were you saying, Jason?
Can you hear this if I play this? Listen to this.
Limiting the number of people here. There are thousands stuck outside. Only 250 people.
Did you hear that?
No.
No.
Okay, you didn't hear anything. All right, never mind. Yeah, I guess I can't really play video for you to listen to at the same time. But so what do you what's new with you guys?
Well, Trump is moving up. He's closing the so-called gap with Biden.
The so-called gap. There's a gap.
Well, they claim that Biden is ahead.
What do you think about was it Minnesota rally that they only let 250 people go?
Well, Trump had thousands of people there, so he gave the middle finger to the governor.
Yeah, it's really funny. It's kind of weird though because the federal government is supposed to be able to enforce the First Amendment, but the states
in the Constitution.
What's the word? Usurped them. The state usurped.
What all this is, the Democrats using their powers over health are trying to preempt our Bill of Rights. And when it comes to Trump, they don't want him to have big crowds because they can't get big crowds.
Oh, of course not. Yeah.
All right. Let me tell you this state. First of all, take Minnesota. Now, both candidates are going to Minnesota, right? They have been going to. Why? Because for the first time since 1972, it's in contention. Okay. And why is it in contention? Well, first of all, Minneapolis was falling apart, being destroyed, and then Trump came to the rescue with the National Guard, right? So some people in that neighborhood might say, we better have Trump in the White House. We don't want this to keep on going on, right? Then there is the Iron Range. There was a depression in the Iron Range developed during the Obama administration because the Chinese were dumping steel in the United States, and the American steel industry was uh, devolving into practically nothing. Trump established the tariffs on Chinese steel, and well, of course, on all steel. And as a result, the steel industry has come back to life, including in the Iron Range. Some Democratic council people and mayors in the Iron Range have endorsed Trump because he has brought their economy back to life. Now, those are two heavily Democratic areas. If the Democrats can't produce substantial margins in those areas for their party, Trump wins. Minnesota.
Yeah. But there's a big steel industry in Minnesota.
It used to be. It's coming back to life now under Trump.
Oh, that's what's going on.
There was a depression in the steel industry in Minnesota because of the dumping of steel by the Chinese in the United States and other countries. So a country cannot survive in warfare if they don't have a steel industry.
Mm-hmm.
You need steel to produce tanks, etc. You can't have your tanks and other equipment dependent on other countries. You got to produce it yourself if you're going to be a great power. And Trump understands that.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that what's crazy though is that China has been saying that we're just going to dump steel on your country and kind of destroy it. And I've been talking to one of my friends. He said that Trump doesn't understand how tariffs work.
And yeah, right.
he would say it's not a good weapon to use against China to cripple them. And I had to say he's not using tariffs to cripple China. He's using tariffs to bring industry back to America.
Right, to protect the United States.
It has nothing to do with trying to destroy China's economy.
You know what? The period when we had the greatest industrial growth in our country, the most rapid industrial growth, was during and after the Civil War until around the 1920s.
Mm-hmm.
That we had high tariffs then.
Yeah.
That protected the steel industry. The U.S. Steel was the biggest corporation in the world.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, U.S. Steel. It's nothing now, but
Japan has their own steel company.
I don't even know whether it still exists.
Yeah, where I'm living in Japan, they have a big steel industry as well too.
Mm-hmm.
It's of course the target. Yeah.
I hope they're not accepting Chinese steel.
No, they make their own steel here. I mean, there's a big steel mill where I live, so in Oita. So the name of the company is called Shinitetsu.
Right.
But
now I'll give you an example. Now you have, let's say we had Japan's an ally, and our steel industry became nothing.
Well, it was it was on its way to becoming nothing. It was being shut down. If Trump didn't get in, it would have been gone under Hillary Clinton. Apparently.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you don't, one of the famous quotes that Trump said, if you don't have steel, you don't have a country. And that's true.
He's right. Exactly. So he's been great for our country, and I only wish the American people would realize that. I'll give you some bright points. 4 years ago, I used to go around with my hat, my Trump hat, yes, and my Trump shirt sometimes. And some people would come up to me and say, "I like your hat. I like your hat," because they don't want to say that for Trump, right? Well, this year, far more people have come up to me and say, "I like your hat."
Oh, really?
Yes, and I think I only have maybe 5.
Yeah, a lot of people this time.
5 Trump dollar bills left.
Only 5 Trump dollar bills left?
I had 100. So at least
you bought 100 of those Trump bills?
Yes. And every time somebody says they like my hat or they like my shirt, I give them a Trump bill, and they're so happy.
Oh, we were called ugly. I was just looking it up on my little laptop here. Ugly.
Who's calling you ugly?
Oh, he called them
Biden
ugly.
calls us ugly. We're ugly.
Well, there were people outside
Yeah.
his rally. There were more Trump people who just happened to show up with
So
some
we're
signs.
ugly. And then we're
And
called something else.
his rally, and they outnumbered the people in his rally, and they were chanting.
So you're talking
he
to
called
your
them
ugly parents.
He called the Trump people ugly. Those ugly. It's amazing.
kind of ridiculous. What? I don't even understand.
Yeah, well.
Well, the guy is has a little bit of Alzheimer or dementia or something.
And he's also got a nasty personality, and he loses his temper quickly. So, you know.
That's a characteristic of older people who have lost control.
Yeah, sometimes. Oh, yeah. I listen to this Philadelphia station a lot, and these guys are very funny. And they said Biden reminds them of the guy that screams at you when you were a kid. He comes out of his front door and he says, "Get off my lawn." That's like Joe Biden.
you know, like a ball. A ball ends up on the lawn. The kid runs after the ball.
Yes.
Yeah. And somebody comes out of their house and says, "Get off my lawn."
Yeah,
like an old geezer.
He is a little bit on the grouchy side now.
Yeah.
He
wasn't like that 30 years ago.
Did you see how he said we made the Democratic Party made the best, I'm paraphrasing here, but he said the ultimate I'm sorry, losing my words here. Electoral fraud system ever in American history.
Yes, he did. He said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are the masters, but he didn't mean it. He meant the probably.
It's a Freudian slip. Yeah, I can find it.
He
quote.
said it. He said it. They had the best fraud machine in the country.
Well, one of the best illustrations is when you look at maps of where Trump supporters are in various states, you'll see that the Biden supporters, where they have the shading of the blue, they're just all around urban areas, the cities. And the rest of us, I guess, can just go to hell. You know, it just the cities without the Electoral College, the cities would absolutely control everything.
Yes, that's true.
And
because they make up the by a narrow margin the popular vote in the country. Because so many people are packed in there. It's a shame. But the cities would not exist without the farmers producing food for them. No farmers, no food. Something they should think about.
I hate it when they rant against oil and gas and corporations, because no corporation is going to lose its profit. So A, they'll pass it on to consumers. B, they'll move their plants to another country where things are more favorable. And then when the price of oil and gas raises, it's not just like your car, it's the trucks that bring the food to the cities, it's your heating, your air conditioning, so many things. These people have no idea what they're in for.
Well, look at California. They're just moving in the direction of Biden's green plan. They aren't going full scale like Biden promises to do. They're having blackouts in California. They're having the air conditioners don't work. No electricity in the heat of summer.
Well, that's what we would have. We'd have rolling blackouts.
Right.
Yep.
It'd be a mess. You don't want to imitate California, that's for sure. Oh, and they have forest fires because they don't manage their forests correctly. So it's all in the name of
together. I think the most
ignorant people who don't really understand how best to manage the environment.
Voter fraud.
So they get these weird ideas, they carry them out, and the average person pays the price.
Right. Here, let's I think. Hold on 1 second. Hello?
We're here.
Yeah. I think I can share this quote. I want you to hear this. Let me see if I can do this correctly. The quote. Hold on 1 second. I think I can change the audio for my computer to share the quote and then switch back to me. Let's see. The microphone. No, I don't think I can. I wish I could share you the quote. The full communications device. I didn't. No, I can't.
Who's the quote from?
I'm not sure where it's from. But I'm gonna have to figure out a way that I can do that in the future. Because right now I can only.
Oh, the eyeballs. How did they taste?
They were okay.
Did the kids like the eyeballs when they ate them? Or were they afraid to eat them?
Maybe if I put this on my no, there's a lot of problems here.
Did you have the eyeballs move on the floor?
Oh yeah, we had those too. Yeah, thank you.
Did they like that?
Yeah. It's made in China though, so.
I know that's a bad thing.
Yeah, we
Terrible.
noticed that.
Well, the thing is, here's the thing with the catalogs: they don't tell you where it's made. So you order it, and then all of a sudden you find it's made in China. There should be a law that says in the catalog where it's made.
They're talking about the toys were made in China. That's true.
He's talking about the eyeballs that are toys were made in China. Inside the catalog, it doesn't tell you it's made in China.
Well, the eyeballs I picked up at CVS.
The ones that move?
Yes.
Oh, well.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh, so you saw it was made in China when you bought it?
Yes, Jim.
No. A lot of the things that are made in China, if you look in the catalog, they don't say they're made in China. Then when you get it in the mail, you see they're made in China.
Well,
let's see.
We'll get over this somehow. Yeah.
Let's see if I can. Hold on one second. Let's see if you can hear this.
Was
All right,
made
Jim,
in the United
stop
States.
talking a minute.
Just
Let
us
concentrate.
Candy was made in the United States. They're not going to send
Jim,
candy from China.
Stop talking.
Yes, dear.
No.
Did you hear? Did you hear that?
No.
No. Okay. No. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how this works.
Oh, the Trump mask. Are you going to wear that to school if Trump wins?
No, I didn't wear it. I'm not gonna wear it.
Well, you could. We should have put one of those up in front of our house.
Did you wear any of those masks that we sent you in school to let the kids know about Halloween this year?
What I did. I did wear the Dracula mask and wore the Dracula Bela Lugosi costume. That was
really.
Yeah.
Where'd you get the costume?
It's not hard to do. All you need is was it Bela Lugosi? All you need is a shirt, and you're ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't have a bow tie, but I had a cape. I have a cape, and I printed out a medallion. But I didn't realize that was not his original costume. But yeah, I had a medallion too that I printed out and laminated. I got a laminator, and I wore that, and the kids had a fun time. I made some children cry.
Yeah.
They were afraid of Bela Lugosi's face?
Yeah, no. I think any mask you put on, the kids are just afraid. Actually, I wore the mummy mask last time. And they weren't as scared, but this time they were really scared of that mask. But I also brought a little Bluetooth speaker with me and played some creepy music when I came into the room. And I did a Dracula voice. I did a Bela Lugosi voice. It was like,
oh my gosh!
I was like, hello,
Oh gosh!
I'm here. I was like, I'm not the vampire. I will not.
I have this.
Did you teach him that Bela Lugosi, Dracula was a vampire. Did you teach him that?
Yeah, no, yeah, and I gave him some candy and all that, and
Halloween.
yeah, it's
You
Halloween.
taught him about Halloween, right?
Talking about Halloween, I even have an adult class where my adult class, I just went through the Universal monsters. So yeah, thanks a lot, Dad, because actually, you gave me some ideas for some lessons, and a lot of people were interested in it. At least I think,
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Everybody likes
I gave him
something about monsters.
some like movie monster history and why certain, for example, oh, did you know that Frankenstein is actually the name of the scientist? And people
Right.
were shocked. Yeah. Stuff like that. Little
Right.
little movie trivia. So yeah, it's good. Thank you for sending the mask. And
I
you know what I did?
It
I last week we watched Dracula. The kids were kind of like bored with it and didn't think it was that great. But then they watched tonight we watched Frankenstein, and they thought, wow, that was much better than Dracula. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, they can relate to the fact that Frankenstein wasn't really evil. He was just the monster was just a victim. They could even feel sorry for him at the end. Whereas Dracula, you can't feel sorry for.
Yeah.
Because he was really evil, as depicted in the story. Yeah, good. I'm glad. Did you wear your Dracula mask with your children?
Yeah, no. Luke took it with him to school too. Not school. He took it to the English school he's going to, which we're stopping to go to.
He took the Dracula mask with him?
Yeah.
That's cute. Yeah.
Oh, that's
cute.
fun.
Yeah.
So then he must have appreciated the mask.
Yeah, no.
Jason, you were very little, but do you remember one Halloween I have a black velvet cape with a hood, but I also had a skull mask, and
I don't like that.
Yeah, but the kids were running away from me. They were screaming. I had to take the mask off.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's like if any little kid sees a mask on an adult, they kind of freak out. So.
Yeah.
Did you wear a mask, a skull mask, Kathy?
I threw it out a long time ago. Oh, yeah, I told you that. You may remember that.
Yeah,
the kids in Broadway were running away from me while I was taking our kids trick or treating. So I took it off right away because the kids were screaming.
Yeah,
Jason, did you hear about under the category of this can't happen here? You know how some people think certain political situations can't happen here. In New York, in Muncie, in a community, it's a suburb, I guess, and these Jews were gathered in their own house. So a police officer stopped by because he knocked on the door, and he said, you have a lot of cars in front of your house, more than usual, and you can't have this. You have 10 more people than you should have in your own home.
In your own home.
In your own home. And they played a tape of the Jews saying, what do you mean? This is America. It's my house. These people are inside my house, my private property. And the cop says, no, they have to leave. And I don't know.
Unbelievable. It really is.
Isn't that unbelievable? And, of course, Murphy and Cuomo are telling you how many people you can have at Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh,
yeah.
Jason, I don't know whether you saw this, but the Orthodox Jews had a Trump caravan in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, they were attacked.
And they were attacked.
Some of them were actually beaten.
Yeah, anti-Semitism is very strong.
But it really bothered me when I heard that a police officer, comes by your house, sees more cars than usual, and comes in and tells you your guests have to leave.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
I never thought that would happen here. Never.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now, if I were a police officer, I wouldn't even bother.
No, I wouldn't
somebody
do that.
in their own house.
No.
Even if I were told to do so, I would just ignore it. It's
so
stupid.
Now, there is another. Wait a minute. Which governor thinks we should all wear masks even in our houses at Thanksgiving? Yeah, somebody said that. One of the governors. I don't think it was Murphy. At Thanksgiving, you should wear a mask inside and only take it off when you're eating.
It was probably Whitmer. She's a witch.
Could be her. Yeah.
She's a witch.
So this is very fascistic. I can't even.
I was listening to Alex Jones' show, and one of his listeners that called in brought up the Milgram experiment. Have you ever heard of the Milgram experiment?
No.
Yeah, I think I have, but refresh my memory.
Okay, the Milgram experiment. What they would do. Let me just hold on one second. There you go. So the Milgram experiment would be where they have someone in a white lab suit would be telling one participant to shock the other participant in the experiment if they got an answer wrong. And
Oh yes, I heard of that.
They would shock him with what?
electricity. But
Yeah.
but the participant that was actually being shocked was actually in on the deal. Like he was part of the experiment. The person that was shocking the person that was being shocked was the actual person being experimented on. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
so basically, what they found out that 65% of people, even though they would feel that what they're doing was wrong, when they have an authority figure in the room saying like, "You have to do this. This is very important for science," or just keep going for it. Even though the other person on the other side, who was an actor basically, in another room, would be screaming, "Please stop! Let me out! You can't make me stay here. I want to get out of this. I don't want to do this anymore."
Yeah.
And every time they flicked the switch, the higher the later in the experiment, the votes just kept getting higher, and they found that 65% of the participants would continue doing it, even though that they would kind of say, like, "Hey, this is. I don't really want to do this. Am I liable for this? Because the guy sounds like he's really hurting on the other side." No. Just keep going. Just keep going. This is very important for the experiment.
I remember that.
Yeah, people are willing
That
to
was
do
a
bad
famous
things if they're
experiment.
ordered to do bad
Yep.
things.
So I
In
mean,
some cases, they even take pleasure out of it.
yeah, 65% of them went pretty far all the way to the end of the experiment, and then even they pretend the guy died, and at the end they go, "Oh, don't worry about it." So this is the kind of thing that we're dealing with. Is I think there's a lot of humans out there that just can't really
They'll do
think
what
for
they're
themselves.
told, no matter what.
Yeah,
Right.
and it kind of makes me sad, actually.
Oh yeah.
Well, they're young people your age and younger. A lot of them are now beginning to move away from Biden towards Trump because they don't like being restrained by all these regulations on their lifestyle.
Yeah, the lockdown crap. Like that's the reason why they need Biden to get in there, because they want to continue the lockdowns. Apparently, in Europe, they're really propagandizing it so much, locking down again. They got mask mandates. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole reason Americans left Europe was to get away from all that crap.
Yeah, to
But
get
you got
freedom.
yeah,
Freedom, yep.
but you got all these different states that say like, "Oh, if you want to go shopping, you have to put a thing on your face." And you know what it does? And they say, "Oh, essential." I hate that word. Oh, essential businesses, essential people, essential. No, everyone is essential. Everyone's part of the economy. If you take out one gear of the economy, that lessens the ability of the economy
for
to
everybody.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So everyone's totally essential. You going to a mom and pop restaurant, and ordering some food and giving a tip to that woman, and then sales tax goes there. It's all part of the economy. You can't just say shut it down. This part of the economy is no good, but it affects the whole economy. And the crazy thing is, they told us that, oh, we need to do this to protect everybody. Well, what did we find out? No, it's just killing more people. It's killing more of the third world.
That's right. Well, the third world, they're dying.
Yeah, they're dying because the economy's bad in the first world. If the first world's economy's not good, they're not going to get the food that they need.
That's right. They can start starving now.
Yeah, and they can start starving them, and it's absolutely insane. I don't understand what these Democrats are doing. What is Europe doing? I mean, it's obvious now that this is all bullcrap. It's all bullcrap. But you know, I'm here in Japan, and I still see people running around with these masks on, and they're not really thinking about it. At least their economy's still going, but it's just really getting to me.
They're not closing down the small businesses in Japan, are they?
No, yeah. I mean, I think quite a bit of small businesses went out of business because of this lockdown crap, and
Oh, you had a lockdown in Japan?
we
They
no,
closed
we
down
kind
the
of
small businesses?
they said please, basically, please don't go outside, please stay home, please,
So less people went to the small businesses,
yeah,
and
and
they moved to the internet to buy things.
yeah, that's the thing, yeah, and it's totally beneficial for these internet companies. And
Yeah,
that's why,
ones who
like,
want to rule
when
the
you
world.
I remember during the
On the
time of
verge of ruling
the
the world.
lockdown, you go to any website, they had this little thing about COVID-19, COVID-19. Get all your latest information there. We're just reminding you.
Yeah. Even my phone always
Yeah.
pops up. COVID this, COVID that. They are so obsessed with it. That's all they can think of. All they can talk about. And it's just
Well,
No,
it's good
it
for
was used as a
internet
tool.
business.
Yeah, it's used
That's
as
what it is.
yeah. That's
But
that's
they're
exactly
robbing
right.
the small businessman.
Exactly, Dad. You got it. That's exactly what's
They're sucking
happening.
away the life of Main Street America, so the billionaires can get richer. During this entire pandemic thing, the rich have gotten richer, and the middle class people have gotten poorer.
It's totally
The
true.
middle
Yeah.
class small businessman has gotten poorer, and many people have lost their businesses.
Not on top of that, you know what? You know what? Also, I'm thinking about. In Europe and other countries, it's easier to do this kind of things. But then you got all the Muslims coming in from poorer countries, and they're just letting them in. But they're saying that indigenous people, the people they've been living there with their families their whole lives in European countries, you have to stay home. If you go outside, you're going to be arrested, and you have to pay a fine, and so on and so forth. So what do they do in America? Well, they do the American version. They have Black Lives Matter. They have Antifa going around burning stuff down, and they have destroying all these businesses here and left and everywhere you go. So it's kind of obviously planned. I mean, or instigated. This is a whole battle plan against America, and yeah, that's what's going on.
That's why China let the virus out of their country.
Yeah, they let the virus out of their
They
country.
stopped
They
the
say you
virus
wear the
from
mask.
going the rest of China by stopping people from Wuhan to travel to the rest of China, but they allowed people from Wuhan to travel around the world.
But you have to understand that.
So the economy of
Right.
other countries would go down, and China's economy eventually would go up.
Right, but the thing is also that I think I still got the desktop audio. Hello?
It's not an unintended consequence. It's deliberate.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you know that somebody from a city in your country will spread the disease in your country, and you says, no, you can't go to the rest of the country, but you can go to other countries, then you know that you are deliberately spreading the virus.
Right.
And
So
the nations of the world that are suffering from it, they act like they don't even realize that China did them in. It's not accidental, Jason.
no, it's not accidental at all. But what I'm saying, there's a combination that's going on here because they knew that they couldn't just do the virus thing. When they do the virus thing, they also have to do the race riot thing. And they use the virus thing to say, oh, you have to stay home so they could screw up the whole American election system. And China has definitely been studying American history. It's like 101 anthropology. What did England do when they went to Africa? They would go to find certain tribes that hated each other and carve the crap out of Africa to take the resources. And that's exactly what China has been doing for decades. They've been studying our country. They found out what's going on. They say, okay, well,
They
America.
found out what made our economy great, and they imitated some of the devices we use to grow our economy in their own country.
No, not only that, but they also are like, okay, well, America has a history of slavery. There's some problems in the past with black people and white people, and then also you have the Hispanics in the South, and we can co-opt these Democrats. They want more power. We give them more money. They'll support our ideas. We take over Hollywood. We release this fake virus. We go into the school system.
Playing a large role in bankrolling the Biden election campaign.
Yeah.
And all the guys who are making millions of dollars in China, Americans, are pouring millions of dollars into Biden's campaign, like the former mayor.
And you know what? This whole remember the Russia? Remember Russia, Dad? Remember Russia? I really think at this point that was also the Chinese thinking of that. They wanted to get the American people thinking about Russia because look at American history. We had a Cold War with Russia, so they want to give us their minds off.
Russia thing started with Hillary.
No. Hillary is a Chinese agent. Don't you understand? Communist Chinese agent. They're all Chinese communist agents. Okay, so what better way to get the American public eyes off of China, even though Trump's saying China, than to focus them on people's fuzzy history in America. Oh yeah, that's right. The Russians. We used to fight with the Russians. I heard something about that. Oh yeah, you're a Russian agent. I remember in the movies we were fighting the Russians. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't understand.
Soviets.
Yeah, the Soviets, which are basically have not much power against us anymore. But the thing is, what I'm saying is that the Chinese are very good at finding about a certain their anthropology skills and in their ability to research the history of certain nations and use it to their advantage is very good. They're brilliant. They're actually very cunning, very brilliant enemies. Like it's gotten to the point where like I could have this conversation with you guys, my mother and father, but I talk to some other people, they don't get it. There's a lot of people don't get it. They don't even understand what's going on. But
no, they don't.
Well, what about your Japanese friends? Don't they realize that?
Oh yeah, my Japanese friend, my Japanese
China
wife.
Tried to conquer Japan.
Yeah, no, they understand. No, the Japanese are aware what's going on for sure. Yeah, we know what's going on here. There's a lot of Japanese that just like, oh, put on the mask and everything will be okay. A lot of people are not thinking. A lot of people, but the people who are thinking understand what's going on. And it's amazing though because they really went for it all very quickly, and I think that was a reaction to Trump. They had all these things in the ideas in the background, but they just threw it all out there because America was not supposed to have like a better economy. America was not supposed to be bringing jobs back to America and moving all the manufacturing back to America. That was not supposed to happen. They were supposed to continue to have these factories in China with no regulations, spewing shitty air into the system, while in America they destroy it with a Paris Accord and so on and so forth. They're angry, and all pharmaceutical companies are angry at Trump lowering the prices of drugs. And if you're just paying attention, you do your own research and look into it, then But it's really hard to talk. I mean, I lost a couple of friends over this crap. I really did.
Then they must not be good friends.
No, they're not.
Yeah, and there's one friend that I had that I now don't even want to talk to. I don't want to be like that, but she voted for Biden. She's a former history teacher. She was always a Democrat, but when I said to her, she was a Democrat. Her father was a Democrat, but
well, she's a Democrat too.
Yeah, she is a Democrat, but she did vote for Trump 4 years ago, and she says now she voted for Biden, and it's his personality, it's his tweets. And healthcare is very big with us. That we're, as a teacher, former teacher, your father and I have Cadillac health plans. When I went to the surgical center for one of my kidney stones, they even said to me, "Is this your card? Because this is a Cadillac plan. You know, this is so good. How did you get this?" I went to different doctors, and the nurses always said, the receptionist, "Oh my God, how did you get this plan?" So I said, "Betty Ann," that's the woman's name. I said, "What about her health care?" She says, "I know, but I don't like Trump." I said, "Betty Ann, did you like getting money back on your taxes?" She says, "I know, but I don't like his personality."
No.
So this infuriates me when you can't put somebody's personality and just put that aside and think of the issues. But they don't think of the issues. And when she kept saying to me, "I know," in other words, she was saying everything I said was true. And she was a history teacher. And everything I said was true, but she just doesn't like him. And that blows my mind. That blows my mind.
The mass media attacks his personality, and these not too bright Democrats swallow the "I don't like his personality."
Yeah. But some women are so prissy. They get so prissy. "Oh, I don't like the way he talks." You know, that just drives me nuts. It just drives
mostly
me nuts.
the Democratic suburbanite women who are troublesome, and some of the independent women in the suburbs. They're difficult to get.
Right. Well,
but I can tell you, I told you this year, far more people come up to me and said they like my hat or they like my shirt.
Well, see what happens. It's the fraud. It's the cheating on these paper ballots. If voting were the same, it always was. In the machine, you know, Trump would win. But they got all these paper ballots floating all over the place. People are losing them, deep-sixing them. Certain areas didn't get their ballots.
The situation.
And the COVID made everybody frightened as hell. And the Democrats, a lot of them are still saying it didn't even come from China. They just refuse.
And some of the, but I'll tell you this: one woman came up to me and said, "I'm praying for Trump."
Yeah.
Yes, sir. She came up to me and said, "I'm praying for Trump."
No, they say it's the Trump
Bob
virus.
Right.
Yeah.
Wife, she's a good Catholic. She says her rosary. She prays for Trump using her rosary beads. I said, "Good for you, Ann." You know. So we'll.
Can you give me a second? I gotta go for a second. Can you give me toilet break?
Oh.
All right. Well, you should hang up then. You can call back.
All right. No, it's okay. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Secondly, we're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our administration, the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Secondly, we're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our administration, the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Secondly, we're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our administration, the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Secondly, we're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our administration, the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Secondly, we're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our administration, the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Secondly, we're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our administration, the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Secondly, we're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our administration, the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Secondly, we're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our administration, the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Secondly, we're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our administration, the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud.
Hello?
Yes, Jason. I'm here.
Yeah, so Biden basically said that his party has made the most exclusive voter fraud system ever in American history.
Extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization.
Something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
he did.
yeah, voter
he
fraud
messed
extensive.
up on saying it. Then there was a tape of him saying something, and at the end, this was just yesterday, and we were listening to it last night. He totally so fumbled something. It was so unintelligible. His sentence was completely. His words were fumbled, like he didn't even badly forming his words. I don't know. Do you think during the debates, I thought his eyes looked weird? Do you think he was on something?
Which debate?
Did you notice the debate he had with Trump, the last one? I thought Biden's eyes.
The first one I thought
weird.
his eyes looked weird too. The first one, I didn't. The second one,
yeah, I thought his eyes looked weird. The second one, maybe it's just me. Yeah.
and the first one I thought his eyes looked weird. I had to watch it again. The second one, he was just full of shit, though. I mean, the guy is full of it, and
yeah, he is.
Nope, it's really telling that the news media will not even ask him about what's going on with his son and the deals. It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
And the guy that runs Twitter with the beard, he looked like a deer in the headlights, because when they confronted him, and when Ted Cruz was asking him some questions, I'll have to get back to you on that. I don't know.
Right.
What the media is doing. There's this law, the 230 legislation that protects them from being sued. That's what the Republicans are trying to get overturned. That was instituted when the internet was very, very new, and it was a small business. And they wanted to protect them so they could express themselves freely without fear of being sued. But so they could grow. But now the internet, social media, has taken control of everybody's, not everybody, but a good percentage of American brain, and it's very, very, very dangerous. And it's just, and the idea of the free press. We have a friend who turned out he's a liberal now, and he was kind of leaning that way, but he said to us, now this was his version of a free press, that the press should just be free to suppress any information that it wants to just print whatever they want.
Who said that?
Ed, remember that note he sent us when he sent us a book at Christmas?
Oh, I didn't know he said that.
It was in his note. He said a free press should be just that, free without trying to be fair and print both sides. In other words, free to just do what it wants to do.
Well, they should be free to say what they want to say.
No, but like journalism, I get some of these people on radio and TV that are still journalists, and the older people said when they went to journalism school in college, that was their major. They were taught to how to give both sides.
If you give a news report,
right? But now in journalism classes, they're taught how to propagandize, how to convince the reader of your own point of view.
In what is supposed to be a straight news story.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
if you're a reporter, you're supposed to do both sides.
See, when we were in school, I don't know how many years, over
50 years
60
ago.
years ago, Jason, okay?
Yeah.
We were taught that a news article should, if there are 2 points of views or 3 points of view, you're supposed to give all points of views in the news article. Nowadays, they don't do that. In many of the major publications like the New York Times and the Washington Post, it's just one point of view. And then they suppress news that is unfavorable to their point of view.
What do you think? What do you think about Julian Assange? Do you think he should be pardoned? I mean, if you think about Julian Assange, exposed a lot of stuff, and maybe if he was around, all this Biden stuff would have been done a long time ago. I mean,
Father and I differed on that, but
But you think about Giuliani coming out with all this stuff. Giuliani, I don't know if he's really that skilled to release this stuff, but Assange probably would have released it already. We're already getting reports that Hunter Biden is compromised by the Chinese, and on that laptop, there's videos of him abusing little girls, and having sex with Chinese girls. But the problem is
because the Chinese are blackmailing them.
Yeah, but that's apparently what's going on, and people have this information, but they don't want to share it, and they don't know what to do because they don't want to release that, because if they share it, it's child
Fox
porn.
News, they won't show him naked in the bathtub smoking coke. They won't, or crack. And they won't show him copulating with a girl while he's smoking crack, because that's considered to be off color.
Apparently there's more videos of him
they
actually.
They don't know what to do about the little Chinese girls. Some people have reported that, but the mass media doesn't show it, or even much they say.
That's basically the job of the FBI,
like
right?
Tucker Carlson, he said, there are things that I wouldn't mention which have nothing to do with politics, but these things I will. Well, what would you not mention?
Well, Giuliani just came out the other day and said, someone, I'm not sure, it was some other journalist said to him, like, "Oh, you're kind of acting like Steele," and he got really angry. He was like, "I'm not."
What do you mean, acting like Steele? What does that mean?
Steele, the Steele dossier, like acting like.
yeah.
It's like he's saying, like, you're acting like that. He's like, "What are you talking about? I have the information. You come to my office. I will show you Biden having sex with young Chinese girls. I have it. If you want to see, I have it." So, I mean...
Yeah, it's not like the Steele dossier. The Steele dossier was fiction, made up.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally made up.
Whereas everything that Giuliani is releasing is actually factual and fully documented and verified. All you have to do is look at.
And that guy Jack that runs Twitter, he's full of shit, and it's really sad. I mean, I watched Jack Dorsey. I watched.
He and the Facebook guy, they're both liars.
Yeah, I watched Ted Cruz grill him, which was good, but Ted Cruz doesn't know that he's deleted also just a bunch of little guys. Like, I'm a little guy. He deleted my account because I shared the article, I can't get back into my account. I lost a lot of people that I was friends with on Twitter. I can't get back there. It's never gonna happen. I had to make a new account. And when I did make my new account, I put a picture of Trump as my profile picture. And as soon as I did that, my account was deleted. So, so I had to make another account. I can't even put
yourself. You had Trump's.
No, I had a picture. The picture I have on this broadcast I'm right now is a picture of Trump taking off the mask when he's on the balcony. I like that picture. It's the picture, the avatar I've been using for a lot of things. I think it's making a lot of people angry around me because I use this application called Line. Line is kind of like WhatsApp or kind of messenger program, and I made that the picture of Trump taking off his mask on the balcony as my avatar, and people don't like that, and that's okay, you know.
Actually, I think that's pretty sharp.
Yeah, it's a beautiful picture. It's a great picture, and you know, I really want to take off the mask. Here's another thing that happened recently. Talking about the mask, okay, so in Japan, people are doing these face shields. Actually, not face shields; they're mouth shields.
Oh.
They're like plastic things.
Yeah, and they go over your mouth. Let's see, I want to show mouth shield. I'm trying to show a picture of it.
What about your nose? It just goes over your mouth and not your nose? Oh.
Here we go. I got a picture. Hold on. Hold on. I'm having.
Did you know that Facebook has hired at least 12 Chinese communist censors to censor us?
Oh, really?
At least 12. At least 12. Somebody said 17, but it's at least 12 because everybody who mentions the number, it's at least 12.
All right. Anyway,
yeah.
So these mouth shields, there's some string that goes over your ear. It's just a mask, but on the bottom, there's this thing that goes onto your chin, and it rests on your chin, and it covers basically up to your nose and mouth. It's called a mouth shield. You following me?
So you breathe through your nose. Is that the way it works?
No. You still have to talk through this. I like to say it's like if you're in a car, you never breathe in front of a window, and you draw like a heart or something on the window. Kids like to do that in the cold weather.
Oh, yeah. It's like a fog.
It's basically having a window in front of your face the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's not even cold, but when you breathe on this thing, it makes a fog, and when you're talking, you'll see like droplets of spit on it, and it's very disgusting. I actually had to go to the doctor because I got my nose got infected, and it started to spread even to my ear, and I had to get.
You mean you were wearing it?
I was wearing it. No. Here. I'm not even finished. I've been wearing it every day for my classes, because I'm an English teacher, and I have to have the kids look at my mouth to get the proper pronunciations. For some reason, my bosses don't understand why this is necessary, even though they have an English school. But yeah, so it's very, very important that they look at my mouth. It's, conversation, and, the name of the school that I'm working at, not the school that I'm working at, the name of just the idea of teaching English is called Eikaiwa. Eikaiwa is English conversation. Conversation with people. You have to be looking at each other and talking to each other. Anyway, so I thought, okay, I can't wear the mask because I'm teaching children. They can't see my mouth. It's very important they see my mouth so they get the proper pronunciation, and so on and so forth. So I decided to start using this plastic mouthpiece thing that covers my mouth. They could see my mouth at least. Guess what? Because of this thing that is resting on your chin, and it's pulling on your ears. Every time you're talking, you are putting pressure on your bottom teeth. My bottom teeth alignment has come undone I've
Oh,
now,
it's terrible.
yeah, the money that you paid for my braces within a couple months has no meaning. My teeth have become crooked on the bottom. Okay, that's
Well,
what's
stop
happened.
it.
I have stopped. I went back to the mask, and remember, I signed the contract for my company that says I'm not allowed to speak about the rules at their company for the COVID-19 or whatever. I went to the chat room in my company. I said, if you're using one of these devices, please be careful. Don't use it too much, because after using it for several months, because I didn't use the mask, I stopped using the mask. I hated using the mask because it gave me a headache and made me feel bad. I was using this all the time. And what happened to me, I said to him, my bottom teeth became crooked. Okay. And I just was warning them, be careful, don't use it too much, because that's what's going to happen. I'm one of the first adopters of this stupid mask that I've been using, this face shield. I thought, okay, well, at least I use this. And the children can see my mouth, and I can breathe a little bit better, but it's still.
Well, you're lucky that your bottom teeth haven't fallen out.
Well, we're not supposed to have gadgets all over our faces. We're not made that way.
Even today, I had a wedding, and one of the places said, you don't have to wear a mask. I didn't wear it. And then the other place said you have to wear a mask. So I put this plastic thing in, it's been a while since I used it. But as soon as I put it on, I did feel pain in my teeth, and I felt like my teeth were being. Even during the wedding, I was messing up stuff because this thing was hanging off my face, and I couldn't concentrate. So
don't wear it.
I'm not wearing it anymore. Well, I mean, I'm not, and then so I said this into the chat group of my company, and I'm again talking about this. I'm breaking the contract, but
That's not, oh God,
it's ridiculous. So I came to work the next day. I'm there with my boss, and I'm saying, "Hey, how you doing?" He said, you know what he says to me? He said, "What do you think?" I'm like, I don't know. How you doing? He's like, what do you think, Jason? I'm like, I don't know. Usually when you ask someone how you're doing, you usually say, I'm doing fine or whatever. I don't know how you're feeling. So, how are you doing? Just tell me. He's like, he keeps doing it again and again. I'm like, all right, whatever. Okay, so what's wrong? He's like, you broke the contract, Jason. What? You broke the contract. You said in the chat room that, you shouldn't wear this kind of mask. And I said, no, I was just warning people that if you use it too much, it might mess up your teeth. He's like, no, Jason, you're just trying to cause problems. You're just trying to make things difficult for us. And you should stop. And I was like, hold on. And I started getting angry. I was like, hey, back off, man. I'm just trying to warn people here. And no, you're just gonna, how can you even prove that? I was like, oh, you want me to go to the the dentist and get my records? He's like, no, but you can't even prove that. It's like, you're just making up things and so on and so forth.
There's something wrong with these people.
There's something wrong with these people. And so I started getting pissed. I'm like, you know what? Okay, you're bringing this up. I don't want to wear your fucking mask anymore. And I took it off. Like, I'm going to teach my lesson without a mask, okay? If you're going to be like this. And he said to me, he's like, Jason, if you don't go out with your mask on, I'm going to fire you. And I'm like, oh, okay, really? And then I grabbed my phone and I put him in front of his face. I was like, I'm recording right now. Please say that again. And he's like, if you don't wear the mask, we're gonna have to sit down and have a talk. No, say what you just said before. Like, we're gonna sit down and talk. And I turn off the phone. It's like, what are you gonna put on that TikTok? And it's like, you know what I realized? Like, this guy's a fucking asshole. He's a hypocrite.
Was that Stefan?
That's Stefan. That's Stefan.
I can't believe he turned into something like that.
He did turn into something like that. And I said,
he was so nice when we were there.
He was so nice. He's a new person now. And anytime I talk to him, and I said, like, I got really angry at that time because, like, I said, like, I'm trying to follow your rules, but I'm trying to warn some people too. Also, don't use the mask because it might mess up your teeth. And he's saying you broke the contract. So I got really angry. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to wear your mask. And you know, and I said, he started digging into me and said, you know what he said to me? He said, people don't care what you have to say, Jason. You're just, you know, you got to take your family out of this. And this is what we're doing here. So you just got to obey what we say. And I said, yeah, you're forcing kids to wear masks. Like, I'm not forcing kids to wear masks. Then go out there and say to those kids that they don't have to put the mask on when they come in the room. Oh, I'm not forcing kids to wear masks. It's just, I can't work. I'm like I said, it's come down to this. So, the guy's a hypocrite. He's a fucking hypocrite.
He sounds like an unhappy person. You know, he just sounds like there's something wrong somewhere.
Did he get remarried?
He did. He doesn't have kids. And the other guy, yeah, I don't know. And you know, I'm saying this all.
No, Stefan has a daughter though.
Yeah, but his daughter's like 25, so his kids are not actually going to have to wear the mask every day and ruin their childhood. I have 3 kids, and the other boss, the school he's working with, forces the kids to also wear masks during recess and PE and everything, and they even said like the kids are not allowed to sing and all that kind of stuff. So.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. One of the governors here said you shouldn't be singing, and if you sing very low. Jim, which governor was that? I can't remember.
Murphy. Pennsylvania.
No, Murphy's our governor in New Jersey.
I know. Wolf,
yeah.
Pennsylvania, yeah.
Yeah, Wolf.
Yeah. Now, I mean, not too many families sit around and sing on Thanksgiving, you know, but still.
No, it's just so stupid.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no, I mean,
anyway.
So here's the thing. It's like I'm probably gonna lose my job. I can't work there anymore. I really can't. I mean,
you're working for a crazy person, and when you're working for crazy people, one of the things I always liked about teaching is
the problem is, Mom, he thinks I'm crazy. He's going around saying I'm the crazy person.
Yeah, well,
it's really.
No, it's. Sometimes I have stood up to my bosses too.
Well, you do need a job. But we had tenure, Kathy.
We had tenure.
They could only fire us for cause.
Yeah, so we were protected.
Well, no, I mean, he would not say that he would fire me with
on the recorder. Yeah,
no,
that
but
shows
yeah
that
he knows that it's wrong. He knows
he's not going to fire you. But don't tell him to go fuck himself anymore too much, because
Did you
I didn't say no. I didn't say that. No, I said that like
fuck this, right?
No, I said I don't want to wear this mask anymore. I mean, like, you're giving me crap about it, so you know I'm just gonna do my lesson without the mask. And he said, if you go out there and teach kids without the mask, you will be fired. So, and then after he said that, Well, what? It's just a lot of things that everyone experiencing. That people that don't want to wear a mask everywhere in all kinds of jobs. The thing here is like, if you don't make a big deal out of it and you pretend to do it, then people won't bother you. But I mean,
well, what you do is you wear the mask, go to your classroom, close the door, then take it off.
Yeah, and then
that's all.
Yeah, but then the kids should be able to take it off. But so then I'm not allowed to talk about it with the kids.
Let them do what they want to do.
They actually got angry because I made it part of a lesson. I said, like, do you like the mask? And they said no. And they're like, you're not allowed to talk about the mask with the kids. It's like, come on. Come on.
That's not in your contract.
You're forcing the kids to wear a mask, and I'm not allowed to talk about this thing that we're all putting on our faces.
That's part of English. Put the mask on. Take the mask off.
Take it off.
Off. 2 English words. 2 concepts.
But
right?
No, the thing is also they put a sign on their door like, all of our teachers are wearing masks. Everyone. We're cleaning up everywhere, and if you come into our school, please wear. Not even please. kanarazu, which means, make sure you wear a mask when you come in. So, I mean, the way that they're just going about it. So if I don't
They
wear,
are forcing it.
if I don't go, but the thing is, they don't even read the Japanese. They can't read the Japanese, and I read the Japanese, and I say, hey, this is a little strong. I think you should back off a little bit. I mean, it's really upsetting, and they're angry at me. So, I don't know. I mean, I want to do my own thing anyway, so we'll see what happens.
It's they're playing verbal games.
Verbal games.
Well,
It's still verbal games.
Stop
Jason,
with the verbal games.
Just wear the mask when you go into the building, and then you go in your classroom, and then take it off in the classroom.
Yeah, but they come around, and if they come around, and then sometimes what happens is one student, complained because I wasn't wearing the mask because of their rules. I actually, I'm kind of proud of my wife too, because we talked to the school a month or two ago, and we said that we don't want our children wear a mask, and they said it's okay, they don't have to wear the mask. And we didn't even say we don't want them to wear the mask. Like, is it okay if they don't?
Well, did you tell Stefan that? Because that's a public school, right? That they went to.
They don't care. They
really don't care.
No. He's like, well, that's your family and that school, and this is our school, so this is what we just Yeah, I think it's like there's a rift, a chasm between us, and it's like the more that I push back, the more that they want to enforce it. You understand what I'm saying? It's really weird. Yeah. I don't like it, because I thought I was kind of like close to him, but I don't know.
Yeah, you were for years ago. Oh yeah.
But
I remember your first trip to America. He gave you some extra money. You said.
Yeah. No, it's just since I haven't been going out as much and talking to him, and I'm kind of like talking more with my family more. I kind of feel like maybe I'm not getting my points across as much anymore, and then I was using Facebook to try to get my points across, and then everyone thought it was crazy, so I deleted Facebook. And then, before I was going out quite often, and I don't know, what I realized is that my influence on people, it's kind of weird. If I'm not around quite often, if I'm not around with them, they're not watching the same thing, and they're getting brainwashed somewhere else, and I can't really like reach them. They're filling their heads with all this other bullshit, and if I'm not there with them along the way, holding their hand and say, "Hey, it's not really like this."
It's still that idea of groupthink.
Yeah.
And it's a phenomenon that is, I guess, psychological too. Groupthink. Everybody, if they conform, they feel that they're part of the group, and to them it's important and psychologically. But you were raised as an American, and most Americans don't. Well, now things.
Yeah, I don't like groupthink. That's the thing. It's like I'm here, and like he's from New Zealand, and I don't know. My other boss is from Texas, so I find it very strange. Maybe that's why he left Texas.
He probably left Texas because they do their own thing too.
Yeah. So I'm.
Did you hear that when Tucker Carlson with the information on Biden, when they sent it on Tucker Carlson had records when he interviewed Bubba Linsky. Tucker Carlson interviewed Bubba Linsky, the guy that.
I'm gonna have to hang up now.
Yeah,
good night.
Say goodbye.
Hang up. I'm gonna finish this.
I have to. Some stuff I have to do.
All right.
Okay.
Take care.
It's good talking to you, Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love you.
Wear your mask.
Right.
Wear your mask, or you could die.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. Just did you see the interview with Tucker Carlson and Bob Alinsky? Jason?
No. Yeah. I watched that. Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear the second night when he sent his boss whoever it was at Fox sent by UPS the more records about Hunter Biden, and it was delivered to him and it was empty? Did you hear that?
There's some problem
there.
there.
Oh, you heard about that. Yeah. And Fox did make. Now, here's the thing with the computer: they're such liars. Where I was googling it, and it said, "Oh, Fox is so stupid it never made a copy." Well, it did make a copy, so there is a copy of what was sent. But imagine them taking that out of there, opening it up, and taking it out, and then he gets an empty envelope. But they did make a copy of the stuff. Yeah.
Right.
So it's horrible. Really is horrible. I said to your father, I said, really, instead of sending it UPS, a flight to California is only about 5 hours. They just should have got one of their people as a courier and held it in his arms and met them in Los Angeles and just gave it to them instead of sending it through the mail.
Yeah,
Well,
totally.
yeah. Okay, so anyway, it's good that you're keeping up with everything in America because now you know what it's
I
like.
do keep up.
Yeah, and it's very.
I do keep up, and I know what's going on. It's just frustrating to see that.
Yes, it is.
People are actually,
Jason, you got to keep your job until you get a new job.
Yeah, no, I got
money.
Yeah, I'm still working. I need money. Okay. I'm working.
Good. But don't put that device on you that messes up your teeth. No. You don't want your teeth messed up anymore.
Well, I mean, maybe I'm lying. So there you go. Maybe I'm making up.
Lying.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Goodbye, Jason.
And these cloth masks, the ones that I have that are cloth, some of them, the elastic feels fine, and then I'm in a store for about an hour or whatever it is, and then suddenly my ears are hurting. And then I put on the ones that have looser elastic, and it's half falling off my face. It's such a
Here's the thing. It's like they're making kindergarten kids wear these things, and they're making all these kids wear them, and the kids, they want to follow the rules. They want to follow the rules.
Kids do, yes.
And they're okay with it, even though they don't realize that. You put that thing on your face all day, it's hard to breathe, and it's damaging your brain. It's tough, definitely damaging your brain. It's like,
look at your father, because when you have less oxygen to the brain, that's why he's got his sleep apnea machine.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to breathe in, like, let's.
What you're doing.
They tried to change the story, like, you're breathing in carbon dioxide. That's a lie. That's not really happening. No, it's harder to breathe in the oxygen that your body needs when you have something covering your nose. It's not hard to figure that out. No, and then when you're not getting enough oxygen to your brain, you're not getting enough oxygen to your brain, you're not going to be able to think clearly. Right. And this is why I'm saying that this is all a plot to just destroy humans. I'm sorry to say this. This is Satan. If anything that Satan wanted to do, you're going to attack the main part of human beings. Satan is trying to stop human beings from breathing. Satan is trying to stop us from talking to each other. Social distancing, staying away from each other, not being able to actually. I mean, even in England, they said don't look into each other's eyes. You can't have your own business. It's fucking Satan.
Yeah. Well.
No, it is, Mom. We are getting into the end times.
It probably is. And when I go back to the words of Jesus, even in the Bible, Satan was a very real figure, phenomenon, if you want to call it a presence, and an influencer. So, yeah. But you know what? I have to go to the bank here. It's a Saturday, and I got to run to our Pennsylvania bank. So I got to get off because they close at noon. And even though it's earlier, I still want to eat a little something before I go and get some things together. Okay? So I'm going to run down to the bank. And, so yeah. But it's good talking to you, and it's going to be I'm so hopeful, and I do pray for Trump. I prayed for him before his debate, and
no, you're right. Well, it's something that I haven't been doing is praying is very important. and I know that. I know that for sure because I've had some experiences with some bad things in my life and some I want to say bad entities. The thing is that we have to realize as human beings, and I know this as human beings, that there is a dark hand. There are
Oh yeah.
things
All
that
you have
want.
to think of is logic, and it's always in philosophy. You don't even have to be religious when you deal with philosophy, but philosophers have said, is man inherently good or inherently evil? And all you have to do is think of an example with your child. A child has to be told, don't take that tricycle, it doesn't belong to you. Give it back to the other little boy. That's stealing. So man can be influenced to do bad things.
Influence
And
to do bad things, but that
yeah,
influence can also come from other channels, is what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
So,
Well, I do believe that. I believe when you open yourself up to evil, and yeah, I do believe that evil can take over. Yeah, I do. I think it's a definite presence. I do, because it's obvious. If there's good and evil, there's the yin yang, like the Chinese said, good, evil, positive, negative. That our lives, the world is filled with oppositional emotions, happenings, and so forth. And the evil part can come in and take over, and it does try. I guess you could say it tries, and it's yeah, not always successful. So, but one of the things that prayer, what Reverend Van Horn, Greg Keosian, with prayer, I usually pray not, although I think I said this to you before, I think there can be miracles, definitely can be miracles. So you could say, miraculously cure my child, but you could also pray, let's say your child is sick. So, but you could also pray to say, give the doctors wisdom with their diagnosis. Give my child strength so he can fight off this disease. Whatever it is, because if you just say, God, make my child better,
hmm.
I suppose that, but it's more like give us wisdom and strength and the ability to fight off you know what I'm saying?
I
It's like
understand.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes in that, you do find the strength. If you kind of empty yourself out of other thoughts, let's say, and then you pray for the strength, you'll find that you have the strength. You see?
Yeah. No, I pray. I ask for help.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's kind of difficult because I kind of feel like I'm I ask for help and then I'm thrown in these situations where it's very difficult and I'm asking God for help, a lot, a lot, almost every day. I'm
Yeah,
like, what should I do?
yeah.
What should I do? And please,
Yes, and sometimes when I've asked
and
for a decision, sometimes I say, help me think of what is the wisest thing to do, the best thing to do. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that if you, of course, I believe in God. So, but even some people that don't, it kind of provides the mind with a little bit of clarity.
mhm.
You're getting your head, you're taking out all the other things that could come into your head, like I got to fix supper for the kids or something. You kind of clear it out, and then maybe I don't know. Some people that aren't religious, the meditations, it's a very old concept,
Mhm.
to actually get all the clutter out of your brain and see if you can think logically. But I do believe that prayer helps. I do. And I prayed for Trump. A lot of people were. So we'll see what happens with election day. I'm very very nervous about it. I try not to think about it, but then again I have to think about it. So I already have two friends that want to text me all election night, you know,
Yeah.
and well, probably yeah, and it might not be decided. And provisional ballots, when they go in to vote on the day of election day, because they can't use the machines, they can't. They're not going to be counted right away. They're not. And I'm sure both sides have a lot of attorneys. I know Biden has plenty of attorneys, and I'm sure Trump has attorneys to go into these places where there might be election chicanery, where there might be, corruption and yeah, yeah, yeah. In Philadelphia, they're not. Well, Philadelphia is very crooked anyway. So I better get off, Jason. I gotta go to the bank and get
Right.
things done. But I'll talk to you again. Maybe even before Election Day, we'll talk.
Well,
okay?
yeah. Let's hope we get one more chat in before then.
Yeah.
But,
okay, dear.
Thanks a lot. Have a good night.
You too. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.